Hi, welcome to lesson 8 of arcs, sectors and angles and circles. Today we're going to be looking at revision of Pythagoras. To begin with though, pause the video and have a go at the questions here for your starter. Remember where you see the paper and pencil icon to do these questions into your jotter, and now you will also notice a calculator icon. This means that you are allowed to use a calculator if required. Okay, let's have a look at your answers. So 1A is 9, 1B 6.25, 1C 0.81, 1D is 25, 1E is 2.25, 1F is 36, 1G is 16, 1H is 14.44, and 1I is 400. All of these questions in question 1 are just different ways of asking exactly the same thing. When you square a number, you multiply it by itself. In question 2, we're being asked to copy and complete the square root. So remember, the square root is the opposite of squaring. So essentially what you're asking is, what multiplied by itself gives me that number? So the square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 121 is 11. The square root of 49 is 7. For D, the answer is 1.2. For E, 1. F is 30. G is 6.8. H is 8.660. And I is 18.248. So let's look at today's lesson. We are going to do a bit of revision of the theorem of Pythagoras and look at finding the length of an unknown side in a right-angled triangle. By the end of today's lesson, we should know the meaning of the term hypotenuse, be able to identify the hypotenuse in a right-angled triangle, know the formulae, and use the correct version of the formula to find the length of an unknown side. So, first of all, a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. The hypotenuse in a right-angled triangle is the longest side, and the hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. And then lastly, just a reminder of Pythagoras' theorem, and it says in a right-angled triangle, the hypotenuse c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. Let's look at some examples. So here we're being asked to calculate the length of side x. In example A, x is the longest side of the triangle. We know this because it's opposite the right angle. So if we want to find the hypotenuse, we need to use the add version of Pythagoras. So that's c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So we start off with our formula. We put in our values, so x squared equals 21 squared plus 13 squared, which gives us a total of 610. But then we need to remember to square root this value. So x is the square root of 610, which is 24.7 centimetres. For example B, we have a triangle, but this time x is on one of the shorter sides. We can see we already have a 25 opposite the right angle, so the hypotenuse here is 25. So we have to use the subtract version. So our formula this time is a squared equals c squared minus b squared. We put in our values. So x squared equals 25 squared subtract 12 squared. That gives us 481. And we need to remember to square root this value of 481, so that gives us a length of 21.9 centimetres for x. Now it's your turn. So again, the questions will come up after this slide. Remember your formula, sum, square root and answers with appropriate units. Check and correct your work at the end of the exercise.